Hi, I'm Jason Gore for BestBuy.ca, and we're here to talk about the ATH-S220BT over-the-ear headphones. Over-the-ears headphones? Let's go with the plural. These are from Audio-Technica. Audio-Technica is a very well-established company that makes all kinds of products from a very wide range. They are one of these companies that puts their name on a lot of different products, from extremely high-end to relatively affordable entry-level products. They make headphones that are used in studios all over the world. These are essentially an introductory model. They're their affordable Bluetooth wireless headphones, and they have some great capabilities on them. Here they are. They're light, they're comfortable. They do the thing that they're supposed to do, which is namely, you put them on your ears and music comes out exactly what you would expect. If you look on the back, it has rapid charge that you can get with a 10-minute charge, you get 3.5 hours of use. I love that on models like this, especially when you're on somewhere you're driving around or whatever, you're on a trip and you just want a sort of a quick burst of charge. It'll actually do that in just a few minutes. It has built-in microphone. It has multi-point pairing, which is very interesting because it means that with these you can connect them to your computer and your phone and actually have it sort of navigate those back and forth without having to go through sort of a tedious repairing process. It charges with USB-C, which I'm a huge fan of. And as Bluetooth headphones, they're okay. I think they're acceptable. They're comfortable. They have decent battery life. I think that as they go, the sound is a little bit thin. It sounds a little bit at times robotic. I wasn't as much of a fan of these in Bluetooth mode as I might be with other things that are sort of relatively commensurate, even from within this range. That being said, huge caveat here, that is in Bluetooth mode, and I'm holding this up. I know it looks ridiculous. This is an analog cable. Now I know we are in a world where everybody goes crazy and is worried about fully wireless. And I understand that, and I understand the advantage of having that. But the fact that these headphones have a mini jack in, a 3.5 millimeter in, and they come with this cable that has a microphone on the outside, truly shows what these headphones are capable of. And I gotta explain that. I'm gonna take a brief moment. I've talked about this in other videos. But basically, when you're buying Bluetooth headphones, you're really buying two products. You're buying the headphones, as we're used to, the drivers as they were, what actually sounds if you actually provide this with whatever signal via analog means, or you're buying headphones with the second component, which is essentially the Bluetooth receiver and amplifier. And it's the amplifier that's the most important contributor here to the sound. The digital analog converter, that it's taking the digital signal, the Bluetooth signal, converting it to analog to drive these headphones. And that matters. There are good and bad implementations of digital analog conversion, and this is what people tend to. The much higher end models will have a much better DACs, much better reproduction within the system. Less of a giant gap between digital through Bluetooth or analog through headphone cable. Now, to be clear, the vast majority of mobile devices no longer have headphone jacks. So you've seen the little dongles before that have headphone jack in and either a Lightning or a USB-C on the end. They used to come with a bunch of mobile devices. You actually have to buy them extra now. The sound difference is that extraordinary on these between normal Bluetooth and plug-in headphones that is what I'm going to recommend for these. It really is that big of a jump. The headphones, as they're constructed as headphones, are really good. Much better than I was expecting at this range. The sound is rich. It did a decent job with bass. The treble was never fatiguing, even at loud volumes. It did a pretty decent job of reproducing mid-range. Even using the cable with the built-in microphone, I found much better for calls, for actually doing recording, because where the microphone is, it's much closer to where your mouth is, and it did a much better job. Now, these are not noise-canceling headphones, but because they're sort of the earmuff kind, when you put them on, you know, it does a pretty good job of filtering out the rest of the world. I use these on a flight. And when you're on a plane, as you know, Bluetooth does not work for in-flight entertainment. There's that headphone jack. So many people bring these nice fancy headphones that you got, and then you got to use the terrible plasticky airplane headphones if you actually want to get any sound, or super uncomfortable in-ears. Again, the fact that this is transformable, the fact that this is convertible to actually use the analog in is such a big deal for me. I would have liked if they sort of collapsed in a better way. You can see that this rotates, and this is kind of it. Doesn't really, I guess it's sort of, you store it this way. There's no fold on here, but as you know, this is a minor quibble. This is what you get sometimes with, even from this company, some of their higher end models have slightly better ergonomics in terms of folding and in terms of comfort. The actual ear cushions do a decent job of being sort of resting on your ear. These are not ones that are going to completely envelop your ear, unless you have very, very small ears. But nonetheless, even after, again, as I said, on a multi-hour flight, I was just on a 13.5-hour flight, I used these for 4 or 5 hours with very little in the way of discomfort, but I was using it primarily plugged in. I would go back and forth. I would actually get used to listening to something with my portable music player, which has built-in a very high quality DACs. And I would listen to a track, and then I would go back. I'm like, am I misremembering it? Is it really? And then you go back to Bluetooth. I'm like, oh my God, I can't listen this way. I have to plug it in. So if you're looking for Bluetooth convenience, but are primarily going to use it as wired headphones, I highly, highly recommend this model. I think they are great portable headphones with decent sound, and at the price, I've heard very few wired headphones that are as good as these. With Bluetooth, you really are limited. If you're looking for a Bluetooth only solution, this might not be the way that I actually recommend going. I think that I would look at either higher end models within this line, or something that sort of the performance sort of fits within the value. I like that I can do both. I like that I can unplug it and use the Bluetooth option. When I'm, let's say, just like walking around the street or whatever, where I don't care as much about audio quality, or listen to a podcast or anything like that, I don't need to deal with the schlep of plugging everything in. I can just get away and doing it. The battery life is fantastic. It's got all the metrics there. It's just the sound's not particularly great. So when sound matters, the fact that I can plug it in and actually listen to stuff, I think it's extraordinary. The latency, even on Bluetooth, was actually pretty decent. It doesn't have any sort of higher end codec support, but I found even from playing back on a laptop, there wasn't much in the way of lip sync delay. There was some, but not in a major way. Obviously, when you plug this in, zero delay, zero latency, zero worry about getting from the device onto the headphones. So there we are. There's our quick look at the ATH-S220BT from Audio-Technica. If you're interested in sort of a hybrid, something that works wired and wirelessly, give these headphones a shot. I definitely think that either way, there's something definitely worth listening and putting on your ears and giving a shot. For BestBuy.ca, I'm Jason Gorber. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. We would love that, and we will see you next video. All the best. Take care.